On a Thursday morning that sees winter-like weather arrive over parts of our state, I'm meteorologist Rod Hill with this KGW 8 Plus weather update. I do want to start with the thunderstorms that erupted yesterday on Wednesday afternoon. Forecast pretty much came true. We talked about and Futurecast showed this. Showers popping first over the Coast Range and then migrating into the valley, and that some of those spotty showers were turned into thunderstorms. Turned out to be quite a few spots. So one of the darker storm cloud photos I saw was this one from Camas Meadows Golf Course. Look how black the skies were. They had multiple reports from the Weather Service of 1/4 inch size hail in parts of Clark County. We also had storm reports down in Lynn County, Marion County, Multnomah County, even out in the Columbia River Gorge. This was just the building cumulus clouds. You see the hills and the St. John's Bridge right there from Victoria. She posted this on my KGW Rod Hill Facebook page. There were reports, I know in Lynn County, there was one report of dime-size hail, and that basically means if you went out and grabbed a chunk of ice that fell and you put it on a dime, you would notice that diameter would be the same. That's a pretty good chunk of ice for us. Anyway, that is over, and now what we have is just a good old-fashioned storm front rolling in off the Pacific that has very cold air behind it coming in from the Gulf of Alaska. So during the day today, winter storm warnings go up for both the Coast Range and for the Cascades. Not so surprising to remind you to check travel conditions in the coming days over the Cascade passes. They will be snow covered. But the Coast Range from later today all the way through at least Saturday, there could be snow covered roadways at times with low snow levels. We're going 12 to 20 in the Cascades, 6 to 12 in the Coast Range, down to about 1,500 feet. And then even 3 to 6 inches potentially at lower elevations of the Coast Range. So you'll want to keep that in mind for your traveling the next several days. And then also starting at 2 o'clock today, then right now expiring this evening at 11 p.m., a wind advisory. Kind of what I call garden variety stuff for you folks in the Dalles, not to the Columbia Basin. West winds gusting to 45 miles per hour. That's all is this transfer of colder air. It starts, or transition, it's probably a better word, of colder air coming into the area behind that front. I don't really have any changes to the overall forecast message from the last couple of days. Everything seems to be kind of holding the line of what we expect to happen. Snow levels will drop to 1,500 feet by late this afternoon, closer to 500 feet Friday morning, closer to 500 feet Saturday morning. Now, on paper, both of these mornings, especially Saturday, looks like there could be sticking snow at sea level. However, it's a pretty good westerly flow, and all the temperature guidance we get suggests the temperatures will hold at lowest elevations 34, 35, 36 degrees. So that would be no sticking snow. But if you live in some of the metro hill elevations of Southwest Washington or up in the Cascade foothills of Oregon, realize your odds are pretty good that at some point you will see some snow accumulation. Whatever you pick up, it would likely, if it's just a couple inches, it would melt during the daytime hours as temperatures warm up. And any light snow accumulations on the valley floor of the I-5 corridor Friday or Saturday morning will quickly melt during the day, again, as temperatures warm up. Sunday, 1,500 foot snow level. Then by Monday, the snow level back up to 3,000 feet. All right, this is what the European weather model shows for snow. This would be at pass level on Mount Hood, 14 inches total from what falls today going into, what's the clock say, Saturday at 2 p.m. And then we've got, where you see the darker blue colors, 6 to maybe 12-inch snow bullseyes over the Coast Range. That supports that up to 6 inches at lower elevations over the Coast Range as well. And this supports at least a chance of some sticking snow potential at lowest elevations. All right, here's our Futurecast movie. Hopefully this helps you plan your day. 11 o'clock is the current timing of the front coming into the I-5 corridor. Notice that arrives with a pretty steady rain band, some heavier rain. We'll get gusty winds. This morning could be some gusts of 30 to 40 along the coast, and eventually it's kind of a breezy to gusty southwest wind day in Portland, Salem, and Vancouver, 15 to 30 mile per hour winds. And we talked about this afternoon the wind advisory for west winds out toward the Dalles. So behind the front, snow levels quickly drop down to the Coast Range. After the front, it's kind of occasional shots of rain. Some could be heavy at times. There's at least the chance of a rumble of thunder today. We're pretty unstable with the coldness of the air coming in, but probably the better chance, more likely than thunder, would be hail. Because again, the snow levels are going to get low, so it won't take much vertical action for those raindrops and the cumulus clouds to bounce up into freezing temperatures. The liquid changes into ice, and then that falls as hail. So look for that to happen probably the next couple of days. Here is Futurecast tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Now, it's showery precipitation. That makes it tough for any one location to pick up much of anything, really. But it does show that much of what we'd be passing early in the morning would be, at least in the air, snow. I say in the air, referring to the fact that we think ground temperatures down low will mostly be above freezing. And then it's back to generally rain showers falling from the storm system up and down the I-5 corridor at 4 p.m. Friday. And we'll repeat that same pattern Saturday. Pretty good soak coming. I mean, not ridiculously so, but a pretty good soak. This shows rain totals today through Saturday. An inch in Eugene, maybe 7/10 in Salem, 82 100ths in Portland. Most models show us having a good chance to pick up close to 3/4 of an inch. Some models go an inch, and then certainly over an inch at the coast. This seems to be pretty high confidence call. In fact, this shows Lincoln City with a wet bullseye of over 2 inches and measurable precip across much of the state, as you can see on this particular map. All right, I do want to show you what one temperature forecast model shows for Friday morning. So this particular model shows Friday morning, Longview 34, Portland, Salem, and Corvallis and Eugene, all at 35. Similar numbers over at the coast. So again, that would be mostly snow in the air early morning with low spots not sticking. But could there be some cold air pooling in some isolated locations where all of a sudden we've got people saying, hey, we have snow? If that happens, again, it wouldn't really amount to anything more than a conversation piece. The roadways would probably still be pretty good. Any snow would melt during the day. All right, mainly 40s during the day today with the front coming in. We think temperatures will be holding steady across most of the state. So the numbers for the Rose City, we're in the 40s today, steady, 36 to 45 tomorrow, 34 to 46 Saturday. Friday, 45 would tie the record for the coldest high temperature for the 24th day of March. Saturday, I see a few, is still pretty active shower-wise, but by Sunday we're getting into sun breaks and now just a few scattered showers as the storm itself starts to calm down. Still chilly, maybe shy of 50. Monday looks like it could be dry in the morning, then afternoon showers pick up. Some showers on Tuesday. We're starting to warm up a little bit more. And right now, no promises here, but right now Wednesday shows up as dry and sunshine would give us highs back up into the 60s. So lots to keep tabs on in the coming days as much colder weather moves across our area. For now, I'm meteorologist Rod Hill with this KGW 8+ weather update.